The Chrisley family recently made headlines since Todd and Julie were pardoned back in May. In addition, the family is set to be the subject of a new Lifetime docuseries. Recently, Chase Chrisley has teased what fans can expect with the upcoming show. Many fans were introduced to the eponymous family through the USA Network reality show, Chrisley Knows Best, which originally ran from 2014 to 2023. Back in 2022, Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted on charges of tax evasion and bank fraud and were sentenced to a combined 19 years behind bars. However, back in May, Todd and Julie were given an early release after receiving a pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, the two have been sharing their story with various outlets. The family is now set to be the subject of a new Lifetime docuseries. Speaking with People, Chase Chrisley recently opened up on what fans can expect for the series. According to Chase, fans can expect something different from their USA Network series. As he explained, it's very different than Chrisley Knows Best, because as I'm sure anyone knows, Chrisley Knows Best was a family sitcom. Chase explained that this is just raw footage, raw. I'm like, can we go back to Chrisley Knows Best? Yeah, let's just laugh. While Chase assured there would still be some laughs with the new show, the docuseries will also focus on the truth. As the publication noted, in addition to Chase, Savannah Chrisley, Grayson Chrisley, Chloe Chrisley, and Nanny Faye Chrisley were previously announced to be taking part in the series. At the time of the original announcement, it was believed that Todd and Julie wouldn't be participating. However, their recent pardon has changed this. The cameras resumed to film the couple's reunion, among other scenes. Chase noted, "We were actually at the tail end of filming. We're still filming a little bit." Chase continued to emphasize that working on the new series was a different experience than on their USA Network series. He shared, "I feel like for so long on Chrisley Knows Best, I played a character. Savannah played a character. We all did. We're actually being able to be open and vulnerable, and show the highs and show the lows, and no matter how low we get kicked down, we're still going to get back up." Are you excited for the Chrisley family's new Lifetime docuseries? Did you watch the family on Chrisley Knows Best? Make sure you come back to TV shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news on Awake in the Light. Morning light spills across hardwood floors. A camera pans in on a figure at the doorway, barefoot, unkempt, eyes blinking against the brightness. That's Chase Chrisley's reality now. No manicured introductions, no joke setups, no staged flair. It's raw footage, he says, leaning into the lens, unselfconsciously. People.com. Capturing a household not polished for ratings, but jolted awake by real emotions. There's no fake "Good morning, Chrisleys" narration here. Just a hush, punctuated by the hum of a coffee maker and the faint patter of footsteps from upstairs too. Family on edge cut to Savannah, her face pinched with responsibility. No comedic timing or forced tension, just the weight of custody for Chloe and Grayson, intertwined with the gnawing hope for a presidential pardon for their parents. People.com. Each quiet sigh, every wrinkle of concern, is untouched by producers. This is unfiltered emotion, a sister carrying siblings, speaking softly yet fiercely into each camera frame. She's not playing a persona, she's the anchor of lost pieces, balancing school, siblings, public scrutiny, and dreams of exoneration. A scene might linger on Savannah's prayer before sunrise or her hand shaking on a phone call to a congressional aide. There's no voiceover explaining her pain. The camera holds the moment. You feel it. 3. Chase in the doldrums. Then there's Chase. Charming, affable, yet honest. In a hallway interview-style shot, he shrugs and quips, "Raw footage. Can we go back to Chrisley Knows Best?" Yeah, let's just laugh. But his laughter cracks. This isn't the sitcom Chrisley. It's the silent aftermath of father and mother being taken, of home echoing with absence. Cinemablend.com. No one cues a laugh track. There's no warm audience applause. Instead, Chase's trademark grin becomes a bittersweet mask. His shoulders slump, and you feel his exhaustion. It's hard-won levity, not performance for. The return then, a phone buzzes. They're on the way home. The camera shifts. Suddenly, the pace quickens. Heartbeats racing, hands trembling, cameras rolling unscripted as Todd and Julie step back into their home. No gasps. No orchestrated hugs. Just raw tears, held breaths, unsure smiles, and hesitant laughter as the family stitches itself together again. Forums.primetimer.com. People.com. It's not a triumphant return designed for fanfare, but complex, a blend of relief and hope. Guilt. Todd's fatherly voice cracks. Julie fights tears. Anyone can sense that getting back doesn't mean everything is fixed, but it means the story continues. 5. Vulnerability apart from the parents. In segments without the parents, cameras linger on small moments. Grayson's frustration. Chloe's quiet rebellion. Nanny Faye pausing to ask, how are we really doing? These scenes breathe. We see a family in transition, no longer shielded by Todd's flamboyant persona, but raw and unguarded. Chase admits, I played a character on Chrisley Knows best. We all did. We're now open and vulnerable, showing highs and lows. People.com. Here we get no recut hero arcs, just the messy truth allowed to unfold. 6. The balance of levity still. This isn't unrelenting gloom. Life surfaces through small bursts of joy. Morning pranks, Nanny Faye's cheeky jokes, Chase and Savannah sneaking smiles during chores. These natural moments of levity, unscripted and uncued, are their own kind of relief valve, not sitcom-style punchlines, but gentle life breaks. A childish giggle over burnt pancakes, a shared eye roll at sibling antics. Even in tension, humanity bubbles through. 7. Business and bets. Chase steps into a boardroom, working on his new brand. Savannah speaks with potential investors. Business real, stakes real. Clips show negotiation jitters, a phone call going south, shoulders hunching in frustration. These aren't characters on a set. They're people whose livelihoods now depend on resilience more than showbiz personality. 8. Breaking the fourth wall. No narrator. No guided signposts. Just occasional interviews with Chase or Savannah, looking straight at the camera. It's a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was just waiting for something to happen. People.com will show the lows. No matter how low we get kicked, we get back up. Cinemablend.com. Here you see broken hearts, whispered prayers, fierce determination, and Survivor's 9. Footsteps in the Hala late-night conversation. Savannah pacing on the verge of tears. Chase listening, silently, nodding. The camera lingers. There's no zoom-out framing or music swell. Just stillness, real pain. You watch. You wait. You stay. The scene cuts only when the moment fully plays out. Without irony or narrative shortcutting. Strength without fluff teases viewers. This is not just a show. It's visceral. People.com, Reddit.com, and it is. It's bleeding-edge emotion, not protected behind poppy music or contrived story arcs. It's raw nerves reflected in front of a lens. 11. No sitcom, just survival. This is real footage. No laugh track, no warm, cozy scenes, no inviting theme song. It's messy, jarring, true. It could spotlight overnight tears, awkward talk through dinners, sudden storms of frustration. It could hold steady on a hand gripping a doorknob, on a burnt coffee mug still half full. This isn't a step onto a sitcom stage, it's into their living room. Unfiltered, unedited, at Live 12. A promise of continuation. Chase assures viewers that though this show is intense, they do inject moments of laughter. Maybe at family dinner, a goofy phrase from Nanny Faye, a sibling prank gone wrong, but never at the expense of authenticity. People.com, he promises depth. Raw depth. 13. Why this matters. Why would you watch this instead of a polished show? Because it's unvarnished human experience. Because we're drawn to those who continue despite everything. Because it's not about escapism, but witnessing endurance. This series stands to subvert the expectations set by Chrisley Knows best. People showed up for humor, high-strung antics, and comedic relief. Now they'll witness vulnerability, adaptation, rising from real trauma, breathing. A close-up on a family photo. Silence. No narrator says everything's okay. There's no resolution. Instead, the camera fades to black. In summary, no laugh tracks, no forced comedic setups. Cinemablend.com raw footage showing real highs and devastating lows. No characters, just people rebuilding after trauma. People.com family produced and unscripted, with moments of levity that spring from life, not setups. People.com if you're craving sincerity over spectacle, this is family life uncensored, not a sitcom. A lived experience, redemptive, painful, hopeful, delivered in footage that doesn't need a laugh at every turn. They've taken the leap. Cameras on, world watching. The Chrisleys, stripped of pretense, showing up unfiltered raw. Vulnerable. Unsitcomid. That's not a tagline. That's a promise.